Your guiding light is all I know. Through wood and steel, through fire and lace, I'm blessed to walk within your grace. Is to a throid arcane. You laid the path before me. You guided every step. Raise the hammer, string the bow. Her gift is all I need to know. Through toil and trial, through heart and hand, her grace builds up this mighty land. Is the grass a dead time it's sure? We'll build the land, our hearts within. From dawn till dusk, I work, I strive. With your blessing, I'll survive. The loom, the forge, the sword, the grain in your name, I rise again. Got Buddha, got Tolan, got Trio. In you lies strength, in you lies skill. Each victory, each talent, each trial. No task too great, no skill too small. Your gifts, dear goddess, guide us all. Into force. Without your light, we have no guide, but with your hand, our place abide. Raise the hammer, string the bow. Her gift is all I need to know. Through toil and trial, through heart and hand, her grace builds up this mighty land. Is the grass the dead time it's sore? To find it until our greatest deed. By the grace of the goddess we are free. We'll build the land, our hearts within. I'm blessed to walk within your grace. Blessed by her grace. Forever, forever.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Pax Dei, the search for steel. Hopefully, we can... Well, welcome everybody. Episode 92, by the way, if you can believe it. If you've stayed by me this entire time, thank you very much. There'll be more. I did promise myself to get at least 1 year full of podcasting, so let's see if we can do it. There's a lot of subject matter we can go over. The podcast, of course, is for the search for knowledge, you're seeking knowledge, disseminating knowledge, receiving knowledge, of course. Also to drive cultural change by giving people tools they might not necessarily have learned nor thought to use in the manner that I'm going to present them. We're picking up where we left off yesterday. We went over Wu Wei from the Tao Ching, I think it was. So we're exploring how sociology and the philosophy applied to personal life and to the business world. We'll also highlight some complementary philosophies that enhance Wu Wei's principles. One of the things that I like to drive in is I play the game as well, so there are going to be certain interruptions that I'm going to do to facilitate the actual game. And right now I'm going to check for grace. I have 20 grace. I picked up 10 just logging on, and that's about it for right now. I haven't bought any. And more than likely, I will be lumbering. Not for most of the episode, but for a good portion. Why do you ask? Well, let's do some housekeeping here before we get into the topic. Not because I don't have much. Ah, here we go. These are all wrought iron. That's good. Oop. Sometimes the server is laggy. Tonight might be one of those times. You need as much wrought iron as you can as you try to craft steel, and glass is important for alchemy. So, if I can, actually, I'll go get some stone today, or some sand, I should say. If you can, you want to do your long weight items, or basically items that quote unquote cook. So what you want to do there is you want to make sure that before you log off, you have all the cooking stuff, if you will. Anything that has to do with cooking, like bars or glass, furnaces. What's another good one? Didn't say wood. Well, that's the coal. What else would be it? Wow, I have so much steel and wrought iron. That's great. That's great for me. That's going to be useful. Still a lot. That I will need. I think I need they're up here. Large vials, so I'll craft those real quick. I want to get to the craftsman forge parts, but there's basically a 50% chance of doing it. So I'm gonna try to increase my blacksmithing, and of course we have 900,000 before the next level, which means I need to do more than just collect glass. That'll take forever. So, as we were going over last night, when you're adventuring alone, and you don't have a clan, and you're not trading actively with people, which I could probably go trade something with somebody or buy something from somebody's market. But ultimately, what we're trying to do, at least what I'm trying to do, is I want to create this character as high level as I can, not necessarily on my own. I will accept help. But more to the point, all of these skills I want to get up to at least 40. Nah, 40 is going to be at least 30 before I really go off on my own. Winemaking and brewing is one of those interesting ones. I'll just say it that way. And we'll move on. Okay. So, you will always need coal for steel, wrought iron, and such things like that. So, you're always going out and kind of doing some chores in order for you to advance your skill levels, right? It's important that you do, if you want to level, it's important that you take the time to do this stuff, because as you attempt to level and you don't have the materials, then of course you're going to have to wait for you'll have to wait for things to cook, and that is annoying. Could you do other things? Yes, you can do other things while you're waiting. However, not always the best. Not always the best at waiting. And of course, when you get higher level, you get better weapons. You get and you can buy weapons. That's the marvelous part about this game, right? You don't need to be super high level to play this game. As a matter of fact, if you find the right clan and the right friends, I say the right friends, and you play with friends, then of course you'll be able to do a little bit more. Wow, I totally spaced. My coal box is all the way over here. Okay. So I am gearing up. I should still... Coal is one of those things you can never have enough of. So it might look like I have a lot, but I don't. So I'm going to decide which one to go after first, and I don't really think I need potions for this. I'm going to drop these, because I want room for a pickaxe. Why a pickaxe, you ask? Because you'll see me mining everywhere and everything. You know what? I don't even need the shield. You know what? I'll take the shield. I'm not going to get that much glass, to be honest with you. One of the garments I'm wearing has Mesmerize 1. It takes a little bit to cast, but it's a form of an attack, so once his Mesmerize in 15 seconds is gone, or when I hit him, he will attack. I don't need any of this, so any lucky passerby is going to get all of that, because I don't need it. But I do need this stone up here. Alright. Now, yesterday we were talking about Wu Wei, right? And what was Wu Wei? It was a Daoist philosophy that basically uses the principle of... I'm gonna just boil it down. Go with the flow. Don't fight. Don't go for control. The world and nature is going to crash upon you if you start your attempt to control nature and to control the universe, right? Meaning, you can stand in the way or you can swim with the current. But let's talk a little bit more about it, because there was a lot we went over yesterday, but we really didn't get into the, like the sociological context and the psychological context. So on the sociology side, understanding how human behavior and societal structures influence our decisions is very, very useful, right? So in philosophical terms, learning how timeless principles, including Wu Wei, can shape effective leadership and enhance personal well-being. How do you say? Well, definitely, if you haven't already, listen to yesterday's podcast, because I do go in depth into Wu Wei. But to wrap it up from yesterday, and that's what I'm trying to do, we want... Wow. We want really to ask some questions, right? Common questions. Fear of losing control. How can leaders ensure accountability without constant oversight? What's a fear, right? If I'm constantly micromanaging somebody, friend or colleague or somebody that's working for me, what's exactly happening there, right? Well, that is the question that Wu Wei will help answer. It's not the best, but it'll help. What are the other things that we can do? Like, does Wu Wei still apply in high pressure scenarios? And then, what is another common question? reconciling Wu Wei with KPIs, balancing flow and with measurable goals. Well, you can measure. I don't think anybody's saying don't measure. We're saying you want to go with the flow. So the information that is presented to you, you can react to. I'm not sure why that question's really here. So here's some strategic answers. Use transparent, accountability systems such as project dashboards, right? Or in urgent situations, stay calm. And staying calm aligns with the Wu Wei principles for effective decision making. And we can highlight how flow-based work improves long-term outcomes and quality as far as reconciling with KPIs, right? So there's some answers there, and they're all pretty good. There's more. We're not stopping here, right? We're just getting started. I found another area where there's a lot of gneiss rock, so I'm gonna go over there. It'll take me a minute to get there. But it was the same place I was getting barley from. So basically, I gotta do some swimming here in a second. I actually went through where the old clan, before they moved servers, was based. They had a really good spot. They developed it really well, I should say. The spot was really hard. But they did well. They did really well. There was 2 towers in front of me. Oh, it was beautiful. Anyway, so some common pitfalls and challenges. Misinterpreting Wu Wei, right? So if you're going to use it, definitely listen to the episode 91, I believe it was. And also, study on it, right? I love how people just pick through the rubble. Everything looks so different. So different. All right, now I want to... Let me get to that over there, so... I will be fine swimming. Because I have a lot of stamina. A lot of this area you can just run across, which... Is it a lake at that point? And that's where we're going. I'm looking straight up at it. Okay, so... clarify that it's about, well, I should clarify. I took notes. Always use notes. Helps you learn. We went over learning in one of the podcasts too. Maybe I'll revisit that in a little bit more detail. But it's about optimized effort, not laziness, right? I actually have to bring it up because I made a lazy is smart video, and it's pretty good. So check it out on my channel. I thought it was pretty good. Do I want? Yeah, I'll do it. I'll throw away most of the stone, but. I think I said this yesterday. I almost put down roots here. This would have been my home. Discuss, so resistance to lighter touch leadership in corporate settings, right? A lot of I call it old school. A lot of old school is we need to know exactly what the people are doing, where they are, and why they're not at their desks, right? Everybody is very is they don't have flow. I didn't need to do that, but I figure I needed to drop stuff anyway, so. Everything else I can use. Yeah, so lighter touch leadership actually will promote better outcomes for your team. You'll get more creativity, more innovation, harder working people because they know that if they have something to do, they will go take care of it, and they'll make up for it, right? They're not going to leave their job unattended, even though they need to do something, right? And that's because they'll be like, I couldn't work from 10 to 12 today, and then I took a lunch, but yeah, I'll work 7 to 10 tonight to make up for it. Or they might not be able to make up for it, and they'll make up for it the next day. There we go. This is plenty of rock here. And I always skin, by the way. Always. Unless skinning's at 40, you're gonna need it. I dropped something. Oh, it's gonna be one of those days, huh? Alright. So practical tools and exercises. We got to this a little last night, but I want to go over it again. Simple breathing exercises to reset during stressful moments or right before. I know it sounds new age, but it's really effective, and it's supported by science. Meaning, if you're going into a high stress situation, just take a moment. 5 seconds might seem like a long time. Heck, 10 seconds might seem like a long time. But would you consider 10 seconds a long time? Most people don't. I wouldn't imagine they would. So keep that in mind when you're doing breathing. Just, you don't have to do any special technique. I would definitely research them because science has proven some breathing is the way you breathe and the way you inhale and the way you exhale. They have advantages, right? They lower cortisol, or they increase oxygen and blood flow to the brain. They also when they lower cortisol, they also calm you down, right? You're not as anxious. You also, especially in front of somebody, if you take a moment to just think about what you're saying and breathe, that person on the other end might think twice about what he's doing or what she's doing when you just take a moment and you don't have to exaggerate it, just breathe a little bit. You don't want to go, that's a little aggressive, right? People will be like, they're aggressive. No, what you want to do is you just want to take a moment, settle in, understand that you are part of the universe and they are part of the universe. I think it was Namaste. I learned Namaste was And I might be wrong on this, but I believe it means I see the light in you. Loosely translated, of course. And what does that mean? Well, that means that the person in front of you is a human, and they're deserving of love and respect. So give it to them. Even if they want to try to instigate or get you to say something and put you off your game, right? I have no idea where the other rocks are. I think I'm past them. I think that was it. Is that it? Yeah, I think it was. Darn it. I thought there was more over here. What I'll do is I'll wait for the respawn, because I might as well wait and see how long it takes. And I can see right here, because I don't think there's anything that'll be too detrimental. All right. So I'll take note to the time. Okay. And I'll keep talking. I had a problem today with my mic, and I was like, and I still have a problem. It keeps moving. I know why it keeps moving, but it's still something I don't like. And I'm already messing with it because I thought about it. And I shouldn't be messing with this thing right now. Anyway. Wow. Hey, wait, let me breathe. All right. So mindful practices, simple breathing exercises before stress or at stressful moments. And it'll give you a moment to think. And journal. Identify the natural flow in your daily tasks, right? So, and you don't have to do this forever, but do a journal and say, at 9 I did this, 10 I did this, or if you're me, at 9 I did this, at 9:05 I did this, at 9:06 I did this, at 9:07. But journaling will get you into the mindset of, what am I fighting? Right? What am I not taking into account that could help my day go smoother? Remember, Wu Wei's everything is natural, right? The natural flow, the wind, your breathing, your sleep, other people's moods. Everything has a flow, right? So Wu Wei is about harmony. It's not passivity. Its complementary philosophies enhance its impact. Right? So you take other philosophies and you can enhance Wu Wei. Wu Wei is a learned attitude, a learned behavior. You don't have to believe in anything in particular. You can apply Wu Wei to almost any religion if you want. The point is, don't fight against things knowingly. Use strategy. Think. If something's already been triggered, how do you react? It's just as important to know how you react than it is to simply react in a negative way, meaning a way that is fighting against it. For example, if a decision's already made, you're not going to change the mind of the people who made the decision. So I rail with negativity, right? Identify areas in your life where you can just let go and trust the process. And if there isn't anything, you have a little bit of work to do. Like I said yesterday, we're looking for our best versions of ourselves. We're not looking to be um, what's a good way to say this? We're not looking to control anybody or to control ourselves. Remember, we're part of that Wu Wei thing, right? It's not about being passive. That's another misconception, right? If a fight is unavoidable, then a fight is unavoidable. You need to come out on top, right? Let's see. So we talk about psychology and sociology in this, right? And on this channel. A lot of people really only know a cursory definition of sociology. Well, what is it? It examines how human behavior is shaped by society. And social structures. I wonder if I could get that pretty fast. So, society and social structures, that's what it's studying. Why? Well, remember, when I grew up, even in the 40s, smoking was the thing to do. Let's say it that way. It was really bad for your health, but society said, nah, don't worry about it. Trying to think if I'm going to pick up all the stone I can, or do I want to pick up that animal hide? I want sand. I need sand and stone. Okay. So, social norms. They're unwritten rules that influence behavior in groups. We do that every day in MMOs, in Pax Dei. What's an unwritten rule? Maybe an unwritten rule is that you don't take somebody's kill. If you do, you give them what the kill was supposedly providing them, or what dropped, right? The drop. Maybe it's the way the clan is values values certain skills and labor, right? That's interesting. The range is dependent on mesmerize. Like I said, I bounce in between the game and the topic, so sorry about that. But this is how we learn, right? As I'm playing, I'm trying to take mental notes as I'm also trying to learn all about philosophical psychology and sociology more in depth. So role theory is a interesting concept, right? What is that? It's understanding the expectations tied to specific roles. That is leadership or membership in teams. Are you the leader or are you a member? Role theory. Now, it's interesting that we bring up role theory, and I would like to expand upon that, especially from my point of view. In most cases, and this is, well, not most, this is true everywhere, right? We're all human. Therefore, we are born equal, right? To place somebody above or on a pedestal just because they are higher up in the company. And what do we mean by higher up? They're allowed to make Trying to crush a stone with my mace. They're allowed to make decisions, sign contracts. They're given that authority, right? They have a greater degree of responsibility and authority. All good things, right? I'm sure every one of us, at least I do, I want to attain that, right? Why? Because I feel I have a good mind to contribute to the decision-making process, right? There we go. Cool. More stone. That looks really cool. I'm gonna have to take a look at how he did that. You see the pillars over there? I'll do that in a second. So how do you apply certain concepts in Pax Dei? Well, it's sort of like life, right? I have to see how this... What are those? It looks like... Oh, I know how he did it. Okay. Wow, that took a lot of stone. I think it's a pillar that he just crisscrossed or angled. He didn't get me. Didn't turn around. I would have died in many instances in the areas I fight. Don't just click spam in the button when you fight. You will more than likely die in other areas than your home valley. All right. So we're talking about how do clan dynamics mirror the real world in social hierarchies? Well, in many ways, we determine who's going to be the leader, right? You guys make the decisions. We're going to sit back and we're going to follow you, but we're not worried about it, right? And that's kind of like when you, if you're at the clan foundation, that's how you determine the leader. When somebody comes in after the leader's already determined, you have positional roles, right? You have the role theory. So what are some strategies to include everybody and be harmonious in the game communities? Well, one is Wu Wei. Be human to everybody. Everybody's here to play the game, right? So the first order of business is that if everybody's here to play the game, then there's no reason I should get mad at anybody for not making it, right? And let's translate that to real life. If everybody's there to play the game, why do we go to jobs to make money? Live. We don't live to work. We work to live. And a lot of people would do well to remember that. Because a lot of managers forget that you are in a job not because you want to be there, but because it facilitates your lifestyle, right? Pax Dei is just fun. If you're not having fun with the people you're playing with, it's time to hang it up. I have that really good. I wonder. Oh, that's right. There's a mental potion that would be used for defense against mesmerize and other mind affecting spells like pacify. So if you're ever in PvP in here, I really want this for the real world. Potion that gives me mental fortitude. So what are some strategies? Well, one is to make it inclusive, right? Everybody has their own wants and needs. Right? Everybody has their own desires in Pax Dei. If somebody wants to be a blacksmith, then you have two blacksmiths. There's a couple possibilities. You as a leader could say, look, we already have two blacksmiths. Do you want to do something else? Or, just challenge them on it. And if the person's like, I really like the clan, but I really want to be a blacksmith, then the leader should be like, good. All right. Do it. More than likely, as they play Pax Dei, they'll get exposed to other professions, and they'll move into another profession. That's the same in real life, though. Isn't it scary how similar our decision-making process is? Well, why is it similar? Well, quite frankly, it's because even though the game is considered a game, it's still part of us. We are the ones that are playing the game. Therefore, we have influence into our attitude toward the game, right? Toward the events or toward the actions within the game. You can roleplay, but role-playing, it's difficult to be outside your comfort zone. What do I mean by that? If you're antithetical to your core belief system, you're not going to be able to hold character for long periods of time. You'll always revert back to your wow. They jump over him. Really? All this for stone. At any rate, let's see. So there's a lot of strategies that you can do for inclusive to bring everybody to in a clan to not only provide them a good gaming experience because you want a good gaming experience, but they will also provide a good gaming experience for you if you give some for them. Most people, there are those people who won't do that. You have to make the hard decision to say, look, it's been fun playing, but your playstyle just doesn't align with the clan. No hard feelings. Either, and if they still don't want to go, there's options to kick people out. What the heck? Why would I do that? That's a shame. That fox had 5 animal skins. It's not what I'm here for. I am very focused on just getting the sand. A lot of people were like, oh, I'm getting animal skins. Yeah, my leatherworking does need animal skins, but I'll just go out on a hunting venture and that's all I'll get. So, personal decision making. Let's apply Wu Wei to it. You can reduce your stress by acting in harmony with the natural rhythms. Again, this is the whole concept of Wu Wei. It sounds new age, but this is 6 BCE, by the way, in China. I forget what dynasty that is, so forgive me on that side of the world. I'm sure somebody over there knows. But simply go with the flow. Don't fight against it. It'll lower your stress level almost immediately, by the way. Oh, yeah. Crazy. What's a good example? Planning daily tasks based on energy levels rather than forcing productivity. Forcing productivity. Oh, man. All right. Coding is probably the best example and probably the one, well, Excel spreadsheets, data entry. Everybody does data entry, right? You have to do data entry to be able to analyze the data that you're entering. Not always, but you might have to sift through the data to understand where the mistakes of the data entry gathering process were made, right? Garbage in is garbage out, right? So there are instances where you just want to say, look, I'm done. I'm done for today, but try to be productive in another way. If you're tired, get some sleep. There is no reason why you should learn. But it's good to know I can't jump over those, so okay. It's a hard concept to wrap your mind around because it isn't laziness. It really isn't. If you're not productive, and be honest with yourself. I mean, that's obviously I can't say that. I can't say that enough. You have to be honest with yourself. If you're not honest with yourself, then, procrastination is king, right? You should ask yourself why you're procrastinating as well. But good question. Good question. Really? There's a lot of board over here. When you're only have 100 hit points and you don't have any food like I have, yeah, that becomes a problem. 2 boars coming at you. Yeah. All right. Conflict resolution. Here's one for you. Respond thoroughly rather than reacting emotionally, aligning with the Stoic and Zen principles. We'll go over the Stoic and Zen principles here later. Example. If you de-escalate arguments by staying calm and focused on the solutions. For example, there was a great story conveyed to me. It was about a group of people, and something happened with a product, and it failed utterly. And there was somebody that made the decision to move ahead, and there was a lot of animosity between these two people. And finally, the VP, it was big enough where they got in front of the VP, and it was a company where the VP liked to talk to people. It was more horizontal than it was a vertical type of hierarchy. But they talked about the situation, and the one guy who was mad at the other guy just said it is his fault, and he kept going off, about fault and how this should have never happened, etc., etc. The VP looked at him and said, "Okay, he's fired. What's the solution?" So essentially, this guy got what he wanted, right? Or did he? Wait until the end of the story to find out more. But the point of the executive was, okay, fine. He's wrong. Now that we've established where the fault lies, what is the solution to the problem? It's very telling, right? If you think about it, It's very telling because I think the VP was wise beyond his years. Because the person focusing on who was wrong wasn't focusing on how to solve the issue, right? Would you say they were fighting against the natural order? Or I wouldn't say it that way, excuse me. Strike that from the record. Anyway. But you can de-escalate, right? Stay calm and focused on the solution. Meaning, especially at work, if something happens, it happened. You have two choices: to move on and find a solution for what happened, or dwell on what happened and be forever lost in that moment, right? Because that's all you do is just rehash the wrongness. We do that all the time in our personal lives. If you think about it. When I was younger, I dwell on, why did the girl leave me, right? Why was she so upset? And I dwell on it. In some situations, it was just like she was done. She wanted to move on, regardless of what I was doing, and she had her reasons. Okay, she moved on. In my youth, I didn't realize Wu Wei. In my adulthood, my maturity, it's valuable. Not only in relationships, but in games. Take, for instance, how many people have seen gamers, well, young gamers usually, but gamers just freak out at their console, or they're freak out at their TV because something happened. Well, they let their emotion get the better of them, and they lost money, technically, right? If you think about it. Oh, that's a doggy. Alright, I can take a doggy. I didn't think a doggy was over this way. If he attacks, I'll be right. Wu Wei. He hasn't attacked yet, so... I do want to get the first attack in. I took too many attacks. Direwolves are so mean in this game. In the other world, they had wolves, but not direwolves. I knew I got too cocky there. I got too close there. There we go. I need to level up my mace. That's why I took the fight. I really didn't need it. Okay. So, conflict resolution. We've gone over that. How about applying Wu Wei to the business? Well, what are the leadership strategies? Well, as somebody who thinks in the Wu Wei philosophy, you foster an autonomy within the teams and enhance creativity. That will enhance creativity and efficiency. Most people, like 99% of the people who are working adults because they want to, they're adults. They can make decisions on their on their own. One aspect that I need to I can't say reiterate because I haven't said it yet on this channel. Well, I've said it on this channel, but just not tonight. a point I want to make is failure is acceptable and encouraged. Absolutely, 100%. Anybody who tells you different is selling you something. Why do I say it that way? When you fail, you learn. Now, are we talking about failure when you're talking about like life and death? Nah, that's not a good thing. But in those conditions, normally you'll practice and practice and practice and make mistakes in those practices, right? And you're expected to make the mistakes in the practices, not when it actually matters, right? I did it to myself. There we go. So when it matters on life and death, we're not talking about life and death. We're talking about business. Unless you make a, well, even if you make a really big error. Oh, this is an old boar. I didn't even notice. That was stupid of me. That's all right. I took a little bit more damage than I should have because, yeah. Made the mistake, lived through it. Now I know to look for old boars. Same in the business world. Please make mistakes. And managers and leaders and VPs, they should be the ones to say, yeah, I made a mistake too. Here's what I made. Here's the mistake I made. This is an old boar. It is. Really? I did not learn. I don't even know where I am, but there's rocks here, so I'm gonna mine them. So let's see, what else do we got here? So you're fostering autonomy. So tech startups encourage flexible work to align with the individual's strengths. Makes sense. You really want to, as a leader, you want to encourage people to excel, right? You want that autonomy. You want them to look at and create their work. And sometimes, this is me included, I will create or try to find fixes for things that are getting in my way. When I do that, I help my entire team, and they do the same thing. If something gets in my way, or a process isn't complete, or a process is too difficult, I have the flexibility from my management to go solve the problem. They don't ask me, I don't ask them. I'll report it back to them and say, hey, by the way, I did this. Or as in our weeklies, I might mention it just to see if there's any feedback they need to give me. They might be working on it, right? They might be talking to somebody I'm not visible with. They might be like, oh, no, I'm already talking. I'm not talking to so-and-so about this. And I'm, oh, okay. No harm, no foul, right? I don't know where I am. Oh, wow. That's far. That's the way I want to go. Yeah, and I hate these things. I'm up behind them, and that's it. There we go. All right. Still looking for things to mine. I'm just going this way. I'm kind of moving toward my home. There's somebody with markets up here. It's actually like a great place to put a market. You can put like clothes and armor up here. Let's see what they got. Ooh, probably just put here, maybe. Okay. I think this is not the direction I want to go. Because it's going up the hill. Oh, maybe it is. Hold on. Yeah, I'm good. I can go this way. As a matter of fact, let's go off road so I can see if I can get more of the mining. So organizational flow is another thing you want to look at Wu Wei for, right? I'm looking around. Damn, there's a lot of people. Lots of deer, too. All right. So you want to identify and you want to eliminate bureaucratic inefficiencies. That is so key for anything in your life. And I'm hoping the federal government loses some of the efficiencies, right? Or the bureaucratic inefficiencies. There's literally no reason why we have to go through some of the loopholes. Even companies do it. And that's, if you're part of a company and you see an inefficiency, then you should be definitely part of the I didn't realize I already skinned the first one. That was fast. I'm such an expert at that now. It's crazy fast. It doesn't really matter which way I go. I want to go this way because I think in the Stonelands all I have is the wrought iron ore, and it doesn't give me as much sand. That is all I'm looking for. At any rate. So you want to a great program for removing bureaucratic inefficiencies is the Lean program, Six Sigma and Lean. It gives you a logical way of doing it. It's not exactly the best way of doing it, but it's not bad, and everybody can take part in the practice of doing it, right? Needed to go this way anyway, dear. Pat, get it. Sorry, I'm concentrating on killing things. I don't know why. It's not my mission. I'm looking for rocks. I'll tell you why I'm doing this here. Just give me a second. Alright, so why, you may ask? Actually, I do need white onions. Or yellow onions, sorry. I don't think I'm going to get the stone I want. I am headed toward my home, I hope. Let's see. No, I need to go that way. And there's a fox. Got to me. Fox have really nice hides when you have a high skinning. If you don't have high skinning, not as good. All right. I gotta mark this place. The amount of hunting up here. Gee whiz. Gee willikers. Alright, we'll go this way so I don't have to fight anymore. Alright, let's see. Alright, so Toyota's lean manufacturing system promotes harmony and efficiency. Right? That's a lean aspect. You want to remove all the inefficiencies. Well, why? Well, one of the reasons is it blocks you. It makes something that isn't flowing, if you will, right? It's all Wu Wei is about flow and efficiencies and understanding the differences. And just taking it easy. There used to be a song, Take It Easy. I'm looking for anything that has stone that I can mine. I think I'm on the right side of the river, actually. No, not really, but that's okay. Go down this way and swim across. Hopefully I can see some more stone. That's flint. Yeah, I don't want flint. Flint's usually done by rivers and water sources. Let's talk about Stoicism and emotional regulation and rational action. It complements Wei, right? Wu Wei. Well, let's see. The key figures in Stoicism, the concept of Stoicism, was Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca. What is the core principle of Stoicism? A lot of people get this wrong. They think it means something that it doesn't actually mean, or they attribute more to it than what it really means. Well, what does it mean? It focuses on what can be controlled and accepting what cannot be controlled. There's I would say famous prayer that a lot of people hang in their houses where the prayer goes, Father, allow me the grace to know what I can control and to let go that of which I can, or something to that effect. Anyway, the application examples: leaders staying calm during crisis, such as natural disasters, would be a great application. You can't control like earthquakes or fires. You can try, but that's against Wu Wei, actually. In a way, if you think about it, if you're a firefighter and it's a forest fire, like the California fires not too long ago, it's horrific, absolutely horrific, right? Did they try to control them? Yeah, they did. Did they have the means to control them? No. Did they feel terrible because they couldn't control them? Yes, but in actuality, that traumatic feeling for those firefighters, I hope psychology and sociologists, social workers would ensure that they understood that it wasn't their fault. They couldn't They couldn't fight something without the prime weapon of fighting it, right? Meaning you need water at a minimum. So there's Zen Buddhism as well that complements Wu Wei. Leaders staying calm during crisis. Sorry, excuse me. That was so the Zen Buddhism. So you're looking at mindfulness and presence, right? Live in the moment and act with awareness. That is amazing if you think about it. A lot of motivators, leaders say, live in the now. Be here now. Meaning being mindful of today. Today is going to be gone. Right? So be mindful. Some examples. You can listen to your team in meetings or your clan discussions. Let's bring it back to the game a little bit. Actually listen. Don't just be there, but listen, right? It's a big deal. Sometimes you're not, sometimes you're not present. And when you're not present, you're not going to get anything out of a meeting anyway. Or specifically somebody talking to you, right? That's not what I wanted to do. No! Really? Oh, man. I am just full of failure and vinegar tonight. There we go. There we go. So if you stand on this rock just right, you can do that. Is Platinum over there? No, he is not. Alright, so what can I drop? That one definitely. You know what? I'm gonna drop the onions. I don't need the onions. I do need stone and sand. So that's about concentrated. Okay. So we also have Confucianism. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's get another example of the Zen Buddhism. Focusing fully on a single in-game task may improve efficiency and enjoyment. Sort of. But yeah. I'm gonna say yes. These are ancient philosophies with a lot of logic and reason behind them. I'm not going to argue with them completely. There is a time when you can argue with them for sure, but not so much right now. Or not even argue, discuss it, debate it, right? Some of these are not going to be right for you. Confucianism says harmony in relationships, right? Key principles prioritize mutual respect and duty within the social structure. Yep, that makes sense to me. All of these are complementary things, right? And they affect Wu Wei. And they affect your stress. Right? Is there a rock up here? I thought there was rocks up there. Oh, there it is right there. I don't think there's like 100 worth, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna leave these out. Yeah, that's good enough, I suppose. Not as much as I thought I'd get. Not good enough. I could have brought the onions back. You. That's all right. I'll make a special run for the onions. It's not like they're uncommon. I could probably, while we're talking, see if I can make sand. Should be able to. Anyway, so Confucianism, building trust in teams, acknowledges everyone's contributions. You're by acknowledging everybody's contributions. Clan leaders fostering cooperation by setting shared goals. So, hypothetical scenarios. Imagine designing a Pax Dei miracle based on Wu Wei or Stoicism. What would it do? That'd be let me see. What would it do? Find the easiest path to the location you're going. Basically a mapping program, right? A GPS. But finding the easiest, most natural way to get there with the least amount of combat. What's another good maybe we can do? Well, let's turn that into, imagine going to work tomorrow, or going out with your friends. What would be a good way to practice Wei Wu? Or Wu Wei, excuse me. Jeez, Wei Wu. Anyway, that's a couple questions for you. Here's another question. Which philosophy most resonates most with you? How would you apply these ideas in your own life or leadership roles? Constant questioning of yourself, what you do, how you do it, how often you do it. It's all good. It really is. There's certain things that you should reflect on, and there's certain things you shouldn't. You might not want to reflect on the bad things, but you might want to reflect on the evolution to the bad, right? What occurred that made it bad, right? That actually created that event to happen. So to recap, Wu Wei is complementary, and the complementary philosophies offer practical tools for reducing stress and improving leadership, both in personal and professional settings. What are the complementaries to Wu Wei? Stoicism, which focuses on what can be controlled and to accept what cannot be controlled. Zen Buddhism, where you live in the moment and act with awareness. And Confucianism, harmony in relationships. Prioritize mutual respect and duty within social structures. All good for complementary for Wu Wei. As a matter of fact, you know what? I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to, because I wrote a song. I know. And it turned out pretty good. It was electronic chill, and I'm really thinking about producing it as a music video. It sounded pretty cool. Let me know what you think. It's only 3 minutes 45 seconds long, and I will go put the sand away while we're doing it. It's called Effortless Motion. let me pause it there, because I always do this on my casts. I think I meant this one. I do two versions. Let me listen to it. I think it's this one. That's it. So I wanted to share that because I'm thinking about actually making that the not the next one. The next one is called Groove Through Life, which is going to be, I think, pretty cool. I'm working on the video now, so it it's pretty cool. The other ones that I have out there right now, I have a couple. I have the where is it? Here we go. I have Murmurs of Desire, which seems to be doing really good. It has one dislike and two likes, so I'm very happy about that. And we have In Defense of Lazy, which is not a song. It makes sense if you listen to these two episodes, you would get an appreciation for this monologue, inner monologue, perhaps. And Shackles and Shadows, which two likes again, just awesome. And it's a blues rock song. And Closer Than I Knew. I liked Closer Than I Knew. It was a very good song for me, and I wrote it because I think it shares a lot of people's emotions. But yeah, those are songs that I bring to life, right? And I do bring to life a little bit more of the Pax Dei area as well. The song in the front end, the intro, is me and Suno AI collaborating, and the end song was me and Suno collaborating a long time ago. It just makes sense. If you enjoy both, let me know. Let me know in the comments. And that's all I have for tonight, honestly. The gray system we've gone over a little bit, and right now I'm just gonna do some maintenance, really. Mostly grabbing all this stuff, sand, and creating glass with it, since I have a lot of oh, let me do this because it's gonna bother me. A lot of coal, and then I'm gonna just go out and get more coal. Yeah, which doesn't sound exciting, but it is necessary for me to continue showing you Pax Day and what is achievable. And yes, I have better armor than this to those who stop by, who's first time. I like the leather in the Home Valley and in certain scouting missions. Not that it's any faster. I mean, like, my set of full plate is just as good. But honestly, I like the role playing aesthetic. So that is me in a nutshell with that. I did that. There we go. And I just load up. And I see, here's where the mistakes are made. And it's my fault. Because I can put this rock here. And then I can go sharpen my weapons. Because I use them a lot. My shield took some damage, so I'll repair that. And since I'm not going out anywhere really dangerous, I will put that there and these two there. Then I can go with more coal because I know I'm going to run out as I'm trying to create glass. Or actually, you know what? I get a lot of coal. Finally, I get a lot of coal. But what I can do is I can get more sand, just in case. I will not be making rough glass, which gives me the smaller bottles. I need the big ones, so. And I haven't gotten to the ones that needed pure glass yet. So, there we go. But yeah, that's what I'll be doing, and then I'll put this stuff away, and I'll be going to collect some beeswax, because I have to collect that as often as I can in order to craft my fletching, or increase my fletching, because I need the better bow, which I believe is the hung bow. And that is what I'll be doing for the rest of the 15-20 minutes I'll be on here. Because I cannot play this game that often for that long. I get lost in it. So with all that said, thanks for joining. I hope you learned a little bit more about Wu Wei, and I hope you learned a little bit more about the complementary philosophies. And if you do any research, just look in the description. I did put what we were going over tonight in the description of the YouTube video. I do not know if I'll be here tomorrow night. Probably not. Although it is CNY. Today is the first day of the Year of the Snake. So anybody celebrating, Happy New Year. And with that said, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, share the show with your friends. In the comments, let me know what you want to talk about. What philosophy? What sociology? Maybe. Do you want to go in depth on anything in particular? Do you just want to hear me ramble? That's another option we have, because I can just talk all day long. With that said, thanks for joining. And I actually have a closing thought tonight, so I wrote it down. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, here it is. True leadership is not about control, but about creating an environment where others can thrive effortlessly. So, thanks for joining. We'll see you soon. Be safe, everybody, and be kind to one another.
With every step, a lesson learned. From fire's heat to the fields I've turned. The blade and bow, the forge and flame. I sharpen my skills, I play the game. Each day brings a challenge I must face. I train my hands with careful grace. From alchemy's art to the hunter's way, I'll find the strength to seize the day. I carve my path, I walk the line, in the shadow of the ancient sign. Through trial and toil I'll find my way, learning more with each passing day. The skill of survival, the will to thrive, in a world where the strong survive. I'll face the night, I'll take the chance. I'm ready to fight, to learn to dance. For every strike and every fall, I'm building my strength, I'm standing tall. In the heart of the wild and the calm of the night, I gather my skills, I'm ready to fight. From the herbs I find to the iron I mold, each lesson learned is a story told. The stars above, they guide my hand. As I hold my craft, I take my stand. In the quiet woods, in the mountains chill, I push myself, I shape my will. With each new tool and every lore, I'm stronger now than I was before. I carve my path, I walk the line, in the shadow of the ancient sign. Through trial and toil I'll find my way, learning more with each passing day. The skill of survival, the will to thrive, in a world where the strong survive. I'll face the night, I'll take the chance. I'm ready to fight, to learn to dance. For every strike and every fall, I'm building my strength, I'm standing tall. In the heart of the wild and the calm of the night, I gather my skills, I'm ready to fight. The road is long, but I won't turn back. The lessons I learned keep me on track. With each new skill, the stronger I grow. In the face of the storm, I let my courage show. I've tasted defeat, I felt the sting, but I rise again with each new spring. For knowledge is power, and wisdom the key. I'm forging my path, I'm breaking free. The skill of survival, the will to thrive, in a world where the strong survive. I'll face the night, I'll take the chance. I'm ready to fight, to learn to dance. For every strike and every fall, I'm building my strength, I'm standing tall. In the heart of the wild and the calm of the night, I gather my skills, I'm ready